All right, let's dive into a question that is, well, a pretty big deal, one that many of us are going to face. When is the absolute best time to start taking your pension? This decision can literally shape the rest of your life, so let's break it down together.
And here it is, right? The classic dilemma. Do you grab the money and run for the freedom at age 62, or do you wait it out, hold on for a few more years for a bigger monthly paycheck at 65? It's a single choice that can define the next few decades.
So let's make this real. Let's put some numbers on the table. In our scenario, you can start getting $1,200 a month at 62. But if you just wait 3 more years, that payment jumps up to $1,500 a month. That's an extra $300 in your bank account every single month for the rest of your life. So, what's the smarter play here?
Okay, so the first thing most people do, and it makes sense, is they jump straight to what's called a break-even analysis. It seems super logical, but as you're about to see, that simple math, it doesn't even come close to telling the whole story. First off, what are you actually giving up by waiting? Well, by delaying your pension from 62 to 65, you're missing out on 3 full years of payments. And that adds up to a pretty significant number, $43,200. That's the cash you're leaving on the table right from the get-go. So you're probably asking, okay, how long does it take to make that money back? The calculation itself is pretty straightforward. You take the money you gave up, that $43,200, and you divide it by your annual gain from waiting, which is $3,600 a year. The result? 12 years.
And that right there gives us our so-called break-even age, 77. The simple math says that if you live past 77, congratulations, waiting until 65 was the better financial move, at least in terms of total dollars. Seems like a simple, clear-cut answer, doesn't it? But is it really that simple? Is your entire retirement strategy just a bet on whether you'll make it to your 78th birthday? Not so fast. The real world is way, way more complicated, and that break-even point, it's just the beginning of the story.
And this brings us to the first major curveball that complicates the simple math, the longevity gamble. This is really about weighing the certainty of cash in your hand today against a bet on your health and your lifespan tomorrow.
Now this is where you have to get personal. Put the calculator down for a second. What's your family history look like? How's your health right now? And maybe the biggest question of all, what do you expect your quality of life to be in your 60s versus, say, your 80s? These aren't just spreadsheet numbers. They're life numbers.
And this really frames the trade-off perfectly. Taking your pension early at 62, that locks in certainty. You get the money, period. Waiting, that's a direct bet on your own longevity. There's no right answer here, only the one that aligns with your personal comfort level with risk. Okay, so let's keep going, because beyond just how long you might live, there are these hidden costs and really critical timelines that can completely torpedo the simple math we did a minute ago.
And here is a huge one, the health insurance gap. If you retire at 62, you've got 3 long years until you're eligible for Medicare at 65. And that means for 36 months, you are completely on your own for health coverage.
And just look at how this can play out. That extra pension you get for waiting is $3,600 a year. But what if the cost of private health insurance in your early 60s is $6,000 a year, or even more? In a scenario like this, the cost of insurance completely wipes out the financial benefit of waiting. This one factor can literally make the decision for you.
And let's not forget about a really basic but powerful idea in finance, the time value of money. All it means is that a dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow. Why? Because you can take that $43,000 you get by starting at 62 and you can invest it. It starts growing, compounding over time, which can make it way more valuable in the long run.
But okay, enough with the spreadsheets for a moment. Let's talk about the most valuable asset you have, the one you can never get more of, your time. This is where we move beyond all the financial calculations to what really, truly matters in life.
So what does retiring at 62 actually buy you? It buys you more active, healthy years for travel, for hobbies, for spending real time with your family. It can mean freedom from work stress. These are the powerful benefits that will never, ever show up in a break-even calculation.
I love this quote because it just captures such a profound truth. Earlier dollars often produce higher satisfaction than later dollars. Just think about that. A dollar spent on a trip at 63, when you're healthy and energetic, might bring you so much more joy than that exact same dollar spent at 83.
So how do we pull all of these different threads together? We've talked about health, money, time. It really comes down to building a framework to find your personal bottom line.
And this is that framework. You can see how we compare retiring at 62 versus 65 across all these different factors. Things like liquidity. Do you need the cash now? Longevity risk. Are you betting on a long, healthy life? And optionality. Which choice gives you more freedom down the road? This just lays out all the trade-offs in one place.
So let's make this really practical. You should strongly consider taking that pension at 62 if you place a high value on your freedom right now, if there's any uncertainty at all about your long-term health, or if you just want the flexibility that having cash in hand provides right away.
On the other hand, waiting until 65 might be the right call for you if you're in great health and you genuinely expect a long and active life. Maybe you even like your job. And critically, if the cost of that pre-Medicare insurance is just way too high to even think about it.
Ultimately, after all the numbers and all the charts, this whole thing really comes down to one final powerful question. We've shown you how to calculate and how to value your pension, but only you can answer this. How will you value your time?